All right, today lesson 37, triple B. Basically, we're going to put the finishing idea of finding a new price or finding just markup and discount and profit and all of those things. But today, everything is all mixed together. So it is extremely important that you read each problem as we go through so that you know exactly what it is that we're trying to find. Because if you're finding the new price, that's different than just finding the discount, and so on. So, to refresh your memory, to find the amount of markup or discount, or the markup, I meant discount or markdown, or the markup, or the commission, or the sales tax, or tip or gratuity, or a pay raise, or a pay cut, it's simply taking the amount that the discount is or the markup is, turning that into a decimal and multiplying that by the price. We did that 3 lessons ago. Or you could use the idea of a proportion where we have the percent over 100 equals the part over the whole. The second thing that we talked about is finding the selling price or the sales price or the total price. They all represent the same thing. After a discount or markdown or a markup or sales tax or tip or a pay raise or pay cut. For those type, we have to find the new percent. And those are the kind that may have been like 125%, or maybe 80%, where we had to take 100 and subtract 20% from that, and then turning that into a decimal, multiplying by the price. But you have to look at what you're being asked to find. Is it just the markup or the discount or the sales tax? Or is it some form of a new price? Because they're 2 different situations. Now, when we go through these problems today, we've talked about several different ways of finding them. I don't care whether you use a proportion or finding the percent of a number. It doesn't matter to me. But you have to pick a method. Okay? So let's start with number 1. A music store's percent of markup is 72%. A CD costs the store $8. Find the markup. Go ahead and figure that out, please. So in number 1, we're only finding the markup. The fastest way is by finding 72% of $8. And that would be 0.72 times 8. So the amount of markup is $5.76. If you use a proportion, you would use percent over 100 equals the part over the whole. One of these 2 methods right here, not 172% of $8. That would be if you were finding the price after the markup. Okay? All right, let's go to number 2. Number 2, Toys R Us is having a holiday sale with that coupon right there. So in other words, whatever you buy, you get 25% off. You are purchasing that kid's tablet right there. The question is, using the coupon of 25% off, what is the amount of the discount if the item is normally $150? Go ahead and figure that out. We need to find, in this one, 25% of $150. As a mathematics problem, it would be that, and that means the amount of the discount is $37.50. If you utilize a proportion, it would be 25 over 100 equals X over 150. All right, here is what I would like you to do. I would like you to work on 3, 4, and 5 with your shoulder partner. I'm going to give you about 3 or 4 minutes, and then we will check all 3 of them. 3, 4, and 5. For some of us, I think what we need to do is we need to highlight or circle what it is that we're trying to find, whether it is just the discount or the markup or the sales tax or the tip or the commission or whatever it happens to be, or is it some form of a new price? Like in this case, we are finding the sale price. We do these slightly different than we would normally. If we were just finding the discount, a simple 0.25 times 180 would give us the discount, or 25 over 100 equals X over 180. But since we're finding the sale price, we have to first of all find the new percent, If we're taking 25% away, because it's 25% off, that leaves 75%. That's what we talked about yesterday. So that's the percent that we're going to use if we're going to do this the fastest way possible. So that would give us 75% of 180, or 0.75 times 180, and that is $135 for the sale price. If you used a proportion, it would be 75 over 100 equals X over 180. Either one of these two methods would give you the sale price of $135. Okay? All right. Problem number 4. A car sales agent is paid a monthly salary based on commission. Last month she sold one sports car for $48,000, earning a 5% commission on the sale. How much was her commission? We are only finding the commission. We're not finding some form of a new price. So therefore, we only need to find 5% of $48,000. If you used a proportion, it would be 5 over 100 equals X over 48,000. But this is the fastest way to find. Her commission was $2,400. Any questions on this one? All right, number 5. A video game console that regularly costs $352 is on sale for 15% off for a limited time only. What is the amount of the discount? Are we finding a new price, yes or no? No, we're only finding the amount of the discount. Therefore, we don't have to find a new percent. We can use the 15%. If we were asked to find the new price, it would be 85% of $352. But that would give us a discount of $52.80. If you use a proportion, 15 over 100 equals X over 352. Let's go to the back side. In number 6, I don't want you to solve it. All I want you to do is I want you to write down how you think you're going to solve number 6. Don't solve it, though. I'll give you about 1 minute. In this problem, we have to use 65% as our new percent because we're taking away 35%. That should make sense to you. If we're using an equation, which is the fastest way, 65% of something is equal to $78. And we talked about this sort of situation yesterday, and that would give us $120. And once again, if we used a proportion, this time we're finding the part because the part is always the amount after the discount, and we're trying to find the whole, which is the amount before the discount. Either method will give us what we need, which is $120 in this case. All right, so here's what we're going to do now. Number 7, Toys R Us buys the following items for $24.50, then marks them up 20% so they can make a profit. Find the selling price. That's the key. We are finding the selling price after the markup. That makes a big difference. Since we're marking it up 20%, that means the percent that we are going to use is 120%. To do this either with a proportion or the fastest way, which is finding 120% of $24.50. If you use the proportion, it would be 120 over 100 equals X over 24.5. But regardless of the method, the selling price is $29.40. Any questions with number 7? All right, number 8. The items below are purchased on sale for $52 plus sales tax. If sales tax is 8%, what is the price? In other words, we're finding the new price after sales tax. That's what makes this type of problem slightly different. Paying an 8% sales tax means we are paying 108%. Adding it back on. That's the way sales tax works. So we're finding 108% of $52. If you used a proportion, 108 over 100, because the percent over 100 equals the part over the whole, so that would be equal to X over 52. But regardless of the method, the total price should be $56.16. Number 9. It costs $70 to buy a jersey after a 25% markup. What was the price before the markup? This is that newer type of problem that since it's a 25% markup, we have to use 125%. We're moving the markup or the percent up to 125. And so the shortest way is with an equation which looks like this, which will give us $56. If we used a proportion, it would be 125 over 100 equals, remember, this $70 is the price after the markup. We need to find before the markup. So either method would work fine, but it should be $56 before the markup. Number 10. Sarah took her family out to lunch. The total for the lunch was $42. If she wants to give the waitress a tip of 20%, what is the total price? Another problem where we are finding a new price, this time after the tip. So a 20% tip gives us a new percent of 120%. When you're paying a tip, you're paying more than the original amount. So in this case, the fastest way is 120% of 42. If you did a proportion, 120 over 100 equals x over 42. But regardless of the method, the total price is $50.40. And then number 11, a new bicycle is on sale for with a 30% discount. If the original price is $125, what is the sale price? Once again, we are finding a new price, this time after a 30% discount. We're taking away 30%. That means our new percent is 70%. So you're either finding 70% of 125 or 70 over 100 equals x over 125. But regardless, the price of the bike is $87.50. Any questions?